Yay, we're live. Da, da, da.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see. I see us. Let's see if we're public. Yay. It's finally working for me now. Because before I'd go try to get on and it wouldn't do what it was supposed to do. But hello, everyone.
So it actually does post into the events if you make a live event for it?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, you have to go into the settings and set it all up.
Oh, okay.
I have to come and teach you now, don't I, Brandon?
Yeah.
Hi, Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
I gotta teach you how to do the recording.
Yes, you teach me that and I'll teach you this.
Sounds good.
White Owl.
All right.
Yep.
We are live on Crossroads. Hello, I'm Jody. And I have Brandon filling in tonight as my co-host. Thank you so much, Brandon, for the last minute notice, but I really appreciate it. And of course, we have Mr. Greg O'Brien. Woohoo! He's our guest tonight from Fort Mifflin. You had a busy day today.
Busy day. Yep.
You want to tell us all about the battleship?
Battleship New Jersey. Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yeah, they been anchored in Camden for 20 plus years, and they wanted to get a dry dock. So,
hi, Carmen.
There's Carmen and Kyle, and then so they're towing it down to Paulsboro, New Jersey, to dock it for a few days.
Did they let you go on it?
People are on it, yeah, but they were getting bids for like $4,600 for people to get on it. I mean, they had boats to go by it and everything.
Oh my God!
But yeah, it's going to go down to Paulsboro. They're putting ballast in it so that when they take it back up to the Navy Yard for the put in the dry dock, they were concerned that the hull might collapse with once it's no water around it. So they're putting the water in it to have pressure. So when they put it in dry dock and drain the water out, they're not going to worry about it. They won't worry about the hull going boom. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean,
a lot of people.
A lot of people and a lot of security showed up. This first thing this morning, I had a bunch of Apache helicopters were flying up and they were patrolling. And then we had Philadelphia police come in, and then we had the special anti-terrorist groups. I mean, squads coming with they were all there dressed to the teeth, and
then there's Greg.
It was me. Guys were flashing FBI badges and stuff. So there was a lot of people that were like, okay, So yeah, hey James. James is going to be coming to the fort April 5th.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What's going on, James?
So yeah, it was exciting.
Brandon, we're going to book an overnight for July or August. So.
Oh, already is.
If you're on board.
Yeah, we're booked through to June. So July, August. I told Jody, there's the mosquitoes, but
I don't care. I always bring my bug spray.
You gotta let me know what date.
Well, we'll pick one.
Yep.
One that's open.
One that's open.
Yeah. Get because the bash is at the end of July, so I don't want to miss that.
No, we don't want to miss the bash.
Nope.
Can't miss. I'm already booked for the bash, so I can't miss the bash.
Yep. But if anybody missed the battleship today, they're towing it back up for dry dock on the 27th of March. So once we get details about the time, we'll open up again, and so you can.
I saw the pictures. It's really cool looking.
It's cool. I mean, and we were doing cannon fires, and they were returning fire back at us.
Ooh.
So it was really neat. Yeah, So it was really cool.
I remember when you did that for the kids. You stood
Yeah,
up the cannons.
we'd always do to get kids, and we used when the Navy Yard was active, any boat go back and forth, we'd always salute it with the cannon fire. But since the Navy, it's now a shipbuilding, but the Navy Yard's still there. They do all the submarine propellers.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, they have the foundry there. The Navy foundry does all the propellers. So
cool.
still considered very active. So. But yeah, that was all day today, and yesterday we were busy at the fort. There's a Ken Burns, the that does all those documentary series. He did Gettysburg.
Okay.
Um, um, they're going to be doing a American Revolution documentary. So Fort Mifflin is going to be well documented in this new upcoming series. So we had a
Cool.
camera crew was there. They came at 6 a.m. to get the sunsets and do some B-roll, and then they came back to catch the the sunrise at 6 a.m. and then they came back for the sunset later on, and they were there filming the whole day doing B-roll. So
did they interview you?
They didn't interview anybody. They just it's going to be for the
I thought you would be famous now.
Hey, yeah.
Hi, Maggie.
That was just. Hey, Maggie. Hey, Maggie was at the fort today. She got some
Oh, was
great.
she?
She got some great pictures and great video. So we had Maggie there, and
Hi, Cindy.
So yeah, and Kyle's in there. Kyle had They had their great event last weekend at White Hill Mansion.
We're taking the kids there this year. We're going to White Hill.
Yeah, White Hill's a great spot.
Yeah. They really enjoyed it when we took them there before, and they got a lot of evidence.
Good. My favorite is down in the basement at the old Speakeasy.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yep, that's always a good spot.
Yep.
Yeah, Maggie got some good video of the in the volleys back and forth between us and the battlefield in the battleship New Jersey. So,
cool.
It's pretty cool. So, it's a good day.
I have lots of evidence from that fort,
Yeah, it never disappoints. That's what I always tell people.
Nope. First time I was ever there, I was called a bitch.
Yep. That's when the bitches started.
Yep. And they passed it around the spirit world, and it hasn't stopped.
Yep.
That's why we made the club, Brandon.
Which is understandable.
Hey, I'm proud of it.
I'm still waiting for that t-shirt.
What?
I said, I'm still waiting for my t-shirt.
I have your t-shirt.
Pink. Hot pink.
Hot pink. Yep. Greggy Poo has one.
I do have one. Yep.
Yeah.
When I was going through the pictures today, I have that one picture where when it was Dave Seiler yells, "Anyone who's a bitch, get outside, we're getting a picture." And people are like, what? He didn't even need the microphone. He just screamed it.
Nah, he never needs a microphone.
No, and people are like on the balcony there, and they're like, what is going on here?
And all these people are putting pink shirts on and running out to the park.
Oh, yeah, we had a great time. Chris DeJeja, he loved his shirt. He had it. He was running around with it on saying, look at me, I'm, he loved it.
Yeah, miss Chris. Is he? I don't know if he'd be back.
He's busy.
I know he's been busy with his teaching and everything.
Is he filming and stuff?
Yeah.
Because I think
they're refilming. Yeah. Yep.
He says I have to go to his manager. Chris, I've known you forever, and now I have to talk to your manager. Wow. I never had to do that before.
No.
Mm-mm.
Some people.
He's big and famous again.
Yeah, I think they're redoing. I don't know. Redoing his.
It's like, what is it, like a documentary or something, or?
Yeah.
The stuff that happened to him.
Yep, up at New York, whatever Genesis, whatever college.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I miss him. He used to come to the kids' camp. When we would go to the Shanley, he'd come there with us. Because I think he only lived really close to there.
Yeah, he's from up New York, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we miss you. Chris, we miss you.
Yeah. You hear this? We want you back. Come to the bash.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yep, so that was a busy last 2 days. So it's been good.
So what else is going on at the Great Fort?
Well,
We have a lot of things coming up.
we got a lot of things coming up. This winter we had a bad winter. We had a lot of storm damage. The officers' quarters roof got blown off. So,
I saw all those pictures. It really got destroyed, didn't it?
got this bad. So we had roofer out. Of course, being historical, you have to go through historical protocol. So the roofer that came out did replaced the roofs at Eastern State, and so he's done a lot of historical. So we're waiting for him to get a bid back and trying
Hi,
to
Gary.
work on some fundraising and some fun grants and stuff to get that taken care of.
Is the room
Hopefully,
that we sleep in, is that okay?
you're good. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, the barracks is fine. It just was the officers. It just
Yeah,
took
that's
that roof.
okay. As long as they have a bed to sleep in,
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
got it good. You're good. I mean, you can always sleep in the casemates too. So,
No,
Why not?
no. Have
Why
you
not?
been in there, Brandon?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I was there.
they don't
I
like
went there-
women.
I went there for one of their publics that they were doing. They had Daryl and Mustafa.
yeah, Daryl Mustafa.
Yeah, I was there for that public. I was there for that one weekend, and it was interesting.
Oh,
It was definitely interesting on the Friday night and the Saturday night.
every time us ladies go in there, we get told to get out.
Well, I get a lot. Yeah.
They don't like us women.
Well, that's true. I mean, it was all male.
They want us for
prisoners.
one thing and one thing only, and they don't want us in their casemates. Dirty dogs.
Yeah. Well.
What are you teaching them, Greg?
They suffered pretty good in those casemates. So. Yeah.
Hi, Joan. I bet.
Yep. But we're supposed to get 1 to 2 inches of rain this weekend, Saturday. So.
It's gonna be ugly.
Yeah. So we rescheduled our Civil War event. And that looks like it's August because, yeah, the fort.
Hi, Wes.
People don't know, longest active military fort in United States history. Hey, Wes, the Great White North. And Civil War was a military prison, Union, Confederate, and political prisoners. So,
Wow.
So that's why we always have a Civil War.
Well, you were there when we caught the screaming, right?
Oh yeah, we were. Yeah, we got the screaming.
Some of us were in one area and some were in another, and we all heard.
All heard it. Yeah, I've heard it multiple times. But yeah, I mean, if you hear the scream, it's a scream. It's blood curdling. It's not a fox.
It was bad. Yes.
It's not any kind of animal or bird. It's blood.
Because we all heard it at the same time, and we were all in different locations, and we're all like messaging each other, like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?"
Anybody scream? Who's screaming? We all heard that because we were in the West Sallyport. You were yep, and then the others were over by. They were over by the Torpedo magazine, I think, or they were over.
Yeah.
The other side of the parade ground.
Where the horses go.
Yeah, with the artillery shed. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were out there. So yep,
we were pretty spread out, and we all heard it at the same time. It was unbelievable.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, and yeah, it's common. I mean,
and the one time I was there, we were staying overnight, and the lights were on in the room we were going to sleep, and we were way over by the hill. And the one girl was with me. She goes, "Is there somebody in the room?" Because we knew that half the crew was in another area. I said, "I don't think anybody's in there." So I got the video camera out, but I couldn't catch it because we were too far away. So she started walking toward it. And by the time we got over there, whatever was in there ran across and was gone. And nobody was in there.
Yep. Yeah, I've had them run. Yeah. I mean, but there was an event. It was one of the last TAPS event that was at the fort. And I'm standing there with the event promoter, and one other gentleman, and we emptied the fort out. The front gates closed. It was emptied, and we were just standing on the porch of the officers' quarters, and we saw this figure come from the armory and start going across over towards casemate 11, and we're like, who the heck's here? You know, because we search, we before we close up in there, we do a walkthrough and check every area of the fort to make sure no one's there.
Yep.
And so we all went towards it, and it ran and it's disappeared. So
wow.
they're very, very
Oh,
common.
Susan said she wants to go. It's on her list.
So
Yeah.
So for that kind of scream that you guys heard, is it a male scream or is it like a female scream?
It's a female.
It was a female.
It's a female blood. Now we don't know who it is. There are females have been documented dying there. I mean, disease. It's not. We don't know who it is. People pick up the name Elizabeth. Now we know of Elizabeth Pratt and Elizabeth Bunker that died at the fort. The story that I tried to retell over and over because people heard the story about Elizabeth Pratt hanging herself at the fort. And that was written up in a book, Haunted Philadelphia. And then when Taps Ghost Hunters, the first time they were at the fort, they filmed that the story was told. And the story was that the screaming lady was Elizabeth Pratt, and she was lived in the officers' quarters. Of course, she was married to an officer. Her daughter fell in love with an enlisted man, and which is taboo. Since it's an officer's daughter, she needed to marry an officer. So she ran away with the soldier. So basically, he deserted, and she was shamed the family. So Elizabeth didn't have anything to do with the daughter for years, and then eventually word got back, and the daughter died. And so that drove Elizabeth nuts. So they eventually locked her up in the closet up on the second floor apartment there. And somehow, eventually, she broke out, tied a rope around the railing, and hung herself. And that was told over and over for years. Well, we know for a fact Elizabeth Pratt did live at the fort, but she was there in the early 1800s, basically when the fort was rebuilt under John Adams. And she was married to a sergeant, and she had 2 young children. Her son was an infant born at the fort.
Okay.
And he was named just infant boy. He wasn't even named yet.
Oh.
And he died in summer of 1802. And she had a young daughter that died. Her daughter was named Elizabeth also. She died in the fall of 1802.
Oh, geez.
And then Elizabeth Pratt herself died in the February of 1803. And they all died of yellow fever. That's what was going through the Philadelphia at the time. That was a big yellow fever epidemic. So we know she didn't hang herself. She didn't have any adult child. And the officers' quarter wasn't built until 1814.
Yeah, I was hearing all these stories that all that stuff wasn't true.
It's not true. So I put it out all the time, and I've even had, anytime a group comes, I tell them that story. I mean, we did have Elizabeth Bunker that lived there, and she died over at the hospital building.
I just don't know who was screaming because we didn't ask.
We don't know. We don't know. So that was just a story.
It was a very high pitched, Brandon. It was really loud and high pitched, and I don't think any of us asked to hear a scream. We were just investigating.
No, you just hear it. It comes, and it, to me, it's residual. It pops.
Yeah, I would think
you can hear it day. You can hear it at night. I mean, it's just a blood curling scream. So we really don't know who it is. People pick up Elizabeth. It could be Elizabeth Pratt for screaming because of her children are dying. Could be Elizabeth Bunker screaming because she got dysentery. She was there when it was a Civil War military prison, and dysentery ran through and was killing people left and right.
Right.
So it could Elizabeth they pick up. It could be her, or it could be somebody else.
Well, Carmen
So
wants to know who the little girl is, Emma, in the commandant's house.
Commandant. Commandant.
Commandant's house.
Emma
Yeah.
is Emma's Emily. She was one of the commandant's kids that died for it. So yeah, we have children spirits, we have women spirits, we have
Yeah, we heard it over the airplane. At that time of the night, the airplanes weren't really that
yeah.
loud.
I mean, the fort gets a bad rap because it's so close to the airport. It dies down after midnight.
Yeah,
I mean,
during the daytime, yeah, you're going to hear them, you're going to see them, and
yeah,
you
during
take
the day
pictures.
it's peak.
Yeah.
Every so many minutes they're coming in during the day.
Yeah, after a certain hour, we weren't getting any.
Yeah, but at night, they start slowing down at 9. After midnight, they slow down big time. I mean, we've had Ghost Hunters film there. We've had Portals to Hell film there.
You had
We've
SOS
had
film there.
we had all kinds of people film there. So you can get, if you're there after midnight. If not, you just tag it, and you could still get great evidence. Like I said today, we have a lot of people that come during the day. We had the New Jersey event today, the Battleship New Jersey, and we had a few of our regulars. Once the battleship went past, they had their gear and they went down to Casemate 5 to do some investigating. So
they can get called bitches too, right?
They can get called bitches or FU or whatever else comes out of.
You're right, Susan. It does die down.
Yep, it dies down. Hi, Susan. It gets a bad rap for the airplane.
But when we took the kids into the jail part,
mm-hmm.
We had them there for the teen camp, and some of them got very overwhelmed, and we had to take them out.
You had to take them out, yeah. Well, because the foul language was flying.
Yeah, it was, and I was yelling at the spirits and telling them to knock it the heck off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was firm, right, Brandon?
Yep. Hey, you gotta be sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but they were affecting the kids,
Right. And that's a different story. Like,
yeah.
Affecting kids compared to affecting adults. Because when you affect an adult, you can actually, you can defend yourself.
One of the kids got touched too. And
Susan, June.
We had to take them out.
Next one's June. Open investigation for Sue. I think it's June 8th or something like that. Just have to go to the website and check it out.
Yeah, if anybody that's listening that wants to ask questions, just go into the chat room. Mm-hmm. And we'll throw those questions right at you. Right, Greg?
Yep. And James. Yeah, James is, like I say, James is going to be, his group going to be there April 5th overnight. That he was there during the day. And like I say, during the day.
You were never called a bitch, James. Oh, come on. What a bummer.
Well, hopefully April 5th he'll get some names called at him while he's there overnight. I think that'll be his first overnight. He's just come during the day and
Are you going there, Wes? Are you coming down from Canada?
Yes, Wes will be there. Yes.
Oh, I see how it is.
And
the two of you are teaming up. I see how it is.
And Wes will be there. Wes is going to bring some special guests from England over in May.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So we'll have.
Why don't you just move here, Wes? Come on. Get out of that Canada.
Yeah. Hey, I never got any maple syrup, Wes.
Are you coming to the bash, Wes? You've got to come to the bash.
Maybe he'll bring it down next time he sees it, Greg.
Yeah, he'll bring some for you.
Well, he always brings it, but then he gives it out to everybody except me. So.
Oh, how dare him!
Like, damn.
That's not right.
Yep.
He said Wes, it's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Wes brings Molson, but I'm good with the beer.
I could see him packing everything up and having to go through the security.
Yeah, customs
at the airport.
Here he comes again. Yeah.
There's the whole container of syrup just for Greggy Poo.
Commandant's quarters. All right. Well, the
Yeah.
commandant's quarters, yeah, that's in the center. That was. Hold on, I'll get rid of this. Okay. Um,
I don't want to know.
it was just a phone going. That's
Oh,
my ringtone. Yeah, just the apocalypse now. Um, it's the commandant is where the commander of the fort would be. It's called the commandant because we were always under naval jurisdiction, except for the when we were a military prison. So and it was designed to be the citadel. That would have been the last line of defense when the if the fort fell. That's where they would fall back to make their last stand. Now, it's very active in there. The commandant has been seen in there. People have gotten pictures of him in there. Um, Children, he had children. There was a bunch of different. There's one particular commandant with his wife and his kids, and they had a bunch of dogs, and people pick up on the dogs. And Emma's the daughter that died there. But during the siege of 1777, they had the trenches dug right there, and it was basically a trench in a cross shape. It was the trenches were dug like this, so that's where they could go in and defend. And when they rebuilt the fort under Adams in the late 1790s, when they put the commandant's house, they built it right over those trenches, the cross trenches. So some people think maybe because of that, it stirs up activity also. So that's the commandant. So that's a great place to sit and just let things come to you. I know,
yeah. We get a lot of flashlight response
yeah,
when
get
we're there.
a lot of shadow figures in there. I've had people be in there. I've heard footsteps above me on the second floor when there is no second floor right now. That had burned, unfortunately, in the 1980s. Some scouts were there, and somehow it got burned down. They didn't get their fire safety badge, I guess, that night. But you hear footsteps above you on the second floor, even though it's not there anymore. I've had stuff move around in there, and you hear somebody banging on the front door. So good activity in there. So it's a good spot to sit.
Wes, he's in a really comfortable chair and he's making us all jealous.
Yeah, I'm in my big recliner. I was on my feet all day today, so got to rest
Yeah,
up
he's got the
the.
vibrator going and everything.
Yeah, got it all going. Resting it up. Rest these bones up. It was cold down the fort today. It was windy and cold, and
Poor baby.
so rest.
Look at him all comfy.
Yep. So yep.
What's the most active place in the fort that you know?
It all depends. You know how any location is. My favorite right now, besides Case 25, is the West Sally Port. Uh, The fort has
Okay.
the fort has two Sally Port, the East Sally Port and the West Sally Port. When you come into the fort and when you enter, that's called the West Sally Port. These were where
Okay.
the guard stations were. So that would be the guards that you had the daytime and nighttime. That's where they stayed and slept. If you're on guard duty, that's where you were posted. So the West Sally Port in the back, that's the one behind the blacksmith building. Um,
Okay.
that's my favorite right now. I mean that's so active.
I like
Um,
the blacksmith building there.
yeah. But yeah, the west, that's where I was sitting on. They have the bunks back there, and I was sitting on the bottom bunk, and there was some shadows going back and forth in the hallway. Told them to come in, came in, and one climbed up over my lap and on my shoulders, and went up to the top bunk, and then proceeded to climb back down over me and left. So
Are you kidding?
no, that was incredible. You could just feel the pressure on my thighs and
Oh
in my
my
shoulders.
God.
And then all the equipment went nuts, and and then it left, and the person that was with us then got really didn't feel very well, so we had to leave after
I
that.
can
But
see why.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So that's my favorite now and there, the Commandants. I mean, the West Sallyport.
How often were you there, Brandon?
I was only ever there just for that one time. It was just for that one
Okay.
event. I've always wanted to go back down. I know
Well,
I
when
have.
we book it, you're in.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good event, Mustafa and Daryl. So
Yeah. Yeah, there was quite a bit going on both of those nights. One thing I was there, so it was definitely interesting to see how every location was active at different days. Like for Friday, I know it was mainly like the casemates were very active. At least when I was over there with with the
They
people.
always are.
Yep.
yeah,
And then Saturday was like the barracks kind of sparked up, and then where uh the building next to the barracks, like if you go over to the right. So like if you walk out of the barracks and go over to the right, I'm trying to think of the name of that building.
the Powder Magazine, the bunker,
Yeah,
or the
the Powder Magazine. That one had quite a bit of activity too that same night. So
yeah.
it was definitely different to see how how they were active on the Saturday night. The first night they weren't. I can't say they weren't active, but I didn't get a whole lot of chance to be over at those. But
Okay.
when I had the chance, I wasn't getting a whole lot. But
They don't even let you go pee alone. They
no,
pee in the bathroom too.
I heard.
Yeah, was that? Was it with your group there that they all came screaming out of the bathroom that one
Yeah.
night?
Yeah. Oh, Jody's. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
group, yeah. Did they come out for you too, Brandon? Because
Um, Nobody came out of the bathrooms. There was a something happened in one of the casemates that had a couple people like kind of come out of the casemates really fast.
Yeah, I was
no,
in
there
with
was the ladies in the bathroom, and one of them got touched in the butt or something, and
got
she
touched,
came
and they
screaming.
saw yeah, they saw the woman in there. That happens a lot too. We know when I mean, unfortunately the bathrooms are closed. I call it the poop pump. Stop pumping the poop, and we haven't been able to get anybody to fix it yet.
So how do
So
you go to the bathroom at the fort?
use the moat that goes out in the tide. Now we have porta potties there now, so we use those.
Okay, because
Yeah,
if I'm
porta potty.
No,
spending the night,
I,
you
no,
know.
no. It's like
you know,
no. Yeah, yeah, right. You got to go up on top of like like where the wall is, and you got to hunch over top of the wall and just.
yeah.
Well, see, for men, it's okay.
We got the porta potties. Got the porta
Yeah.
potties.
Okay,
We
you
got
men
good
can
one.
do it anywhere.
You know, I mean, people complain about the porta potties, but I say, well, if have you been to Penhurst? Have you been,
Yeah.
other places? They got porta potties. So
Mhm.
Yep.
unfortunately, until we get that pump replaced,
Carmen
um,
wants to know if they speak German by any chance at the Sally port.
um, well, I've heard French. We've gotten a lot of French because the French. There was a French engineer that was there during the siege, and then when the fort was rebuilt under Adams, it was French. And
I hear that. They're coming to
No,
get you.
there's a car outside of my house. Sorry.
and yeah, so it was French under John Adams, and then a lot of people don't know there was a little pseudo war. Um, Adams declared war against, well, after the French Revolution, Adams decided, he goes, we don't owe the French any money. The French lend us all this money for the Revolutionary War. So when the French Revolution and they killed the king, Adams was like, hey, we owed the money to the king now. We don't owe you. And so there was a pseudo war. So there was a bunch of there was a couple French ships anchored out there, and we seized them and threw those French um, sailors in the prison there at Fort. So we get French. Um, I've never heard the German, because I mean the Hessians during the siege, they hit Fort Mercer. After the fort fell, you could have had some Hessians that came on shore afterwards, but um, they didn't fight at the fort, so there could be German, but
Susan
I
said.
haven't heard it.
Susan said at each location, I always say, "Okay, Ghost, I'm going to the bathroom. Leave me alone."
Yeah,
Well, it would work if they would let you alone, but they don't.
yeah, and the men's room too. When the men's room was open, that was active too. I mean the bathrooms, that whole building was the old quartermaster building. So you have all that, history there. And then, they added the bathrooms later on with the military. But men's room, you can be in there and you're over at the urinal and you swear somebody's over in the stall. I mean, one time I was in there and I thought somebody I knew was in the stall, and I was having a conversation with somebody and there wasn't anybody over there. I was like, oh my God.
You're so friendly,
So,
Greg.
yeah. So, well, you got to pass the time, just have a little chit
While
chat.
you're peeing.
True.
Yeah,
True.
like, hey,
True.
how you doing? And there wasn't anybody over there. So, so yeah. So,
Only you, right?
yeah, well, at least I wasn't in the stall, um, trying to talk to someone. But every square inch of that fort can be active, and you know how it is when you investigate. There's times there where every square inch is going nuts. A lot of times, the best I always tell people, when you schedule after when we have a reenactment going on, that stirs up a lot of stuff, and a lot of times we get a lot of scouts, and they really they suck that energy out of those kids, and they get very active. So
Oh, I bet.
but
Do they
there's
ever
time.
sense things, the scouts? Do they sense
Oh, oh
spirit?
yeah, oh
Do
yeah,
they?
oh yeah. They pick it up. I mean, the reenactors, we got the stories we get from the reenactors is, I mean, there's times they're going around chasing things, and
Okay.
there's some great stories with those guys. So yeah, they I just heard a story this past weekend. A guy, he used to be a Civil War reenactor. He, um, it was during the night. He got up and he went over to this area, and these guys said they had a tent there and they had a fire going. They offered coffee to him. They wanted coffee. He goes, "Nah, I'm just up, walking around." And later on, um, him and another guy walked over, and there was no one there. No tent, no fire, no nothing.
Oh.
And he told me exactly where the area was, and I go, wow, that area, there's an old foundation under there that, was a building way back, and he described where the tent was in this building that was over there, and it hasn't been there, for over 100 years.
Oh.
And so that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, you never know what you're going to expect. I mean, I've
Well, we
seen
used to
full
come twice
bodies.
a year, but then
Yeah,
COVID hit and we didn't come for a
yeah,
while.
yeah. I mean, but it's stirred up again. It's good, nice and active. Like I say, we're booked good. Um, Unfortunately, we had to cancel our first open investigation in March because of all the flooding that was happening. But we hope we've solved that for now.
Did you guys get all that snow?
We didn't get a lot of snow.
Okay,
No,
because we got
we
a
got a
lot
lot of
here.
rain. We got a
Yeah,
lot
we
of
got a lot
rain.
before.
Yeah, a lot of rain and just miserable, yucky
I know you were
conditions.
posting the pictures. It looked terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, pretty bad. So, I mean, it is Mud Island. It lives up to its name. It was an island way, way back when they built the fort originally, and
We
then
always
they.
tell our people when we come to stay overnight, wear boots.
I tell everybody wear proper footwear.
Yep.
Even if it's in the summer, I mean, the ground gets really damp. Because of the.
Oh, I learned.
Yep, we are below river level. I mean, we have the seawall there, and when tide is up, I mean, you there and you watch the boats go by, and they're like above you.
Hmm.
So, you know, and so always wear. Don't come in with the high
Yes, bring
heels
mosquito
or
repellent.
sandal. Yeah, bring bug. Yeah, July and August, yes, definitely
Yes,
bring mosquito repellent.
Yep.
I always bring bug spray.
I'm immune right now. They don't bother me.
I don't believe you.
I don't get bit anymore.
Aren't you
You just,
special?
you just, I don't know. You might just, jinx yourself now for this time of the year, Greg. When summer rolls around, you're going to be looking like all swollen now from you saying that. Oh yeah,
I
Give
think
yourself a big
they
G.
got enough of my blood, so they don't bother me anymore.
Sure. Now, I know with the fort kind of like, being right across from New Jersey, is there any chance like, has anybody ever like heard stuff like, from like coming like kind of from New Jersey, like over like party noises or echoes or anything? Like, do you hear that during the day at all?
There's the restaurant, I think it's the Trade Winds right across the river. So I always tell people during the summertime, you might, if you hear music, it's probably over there. So,
Okay.
and, my favorite is Frank Sinatra nights. So, but yeah, there
You
will
get
be
different
music.
levels of activity too, right?
Oh yeah, different levels. Like I say, y- you name it, it happens. I mean, full bodies, residual, intelligent, shadows, physical contact, nothing aggressive. People, hair stroked, shirts tugged, pants tugged, children, women. I mean, I always tell people the fort is unique in that it's the layers of history, layers of
Mhm.
death, and layers of spirits. Revolutionary War, 5 week siege. You had out of 400 men, 150 were able to get out of there. So you had 250 dead and wounded during the Revolutionary War. When it was being rebuilt under John Adams, it was during the yellow fever epidemic that swept through Philadelphia. So you had a lot of yellow fever deaths. Civil War, military prison, inhumane condition. The casemates were dirt floors. They had a half a barrel for their waist. Um, and men were just shoved in there, sleeping basically in their own waste, and dysentery ran through. So there was a lot of disease going through the whole garrison, killing people. Um, it's a military fort. There were death by firing squads. There was a hanging. Was William Howe. Um, we're right on the Delaware. Drowning victims, countless drowning victims. Bodies wash up on the beach. Bodies are recovered offshore. There are even documented drownings in the moat. Um, so you have all that layers of death. So it could be anything.
What's going on June 8th? Wes is coming here, but what he is doing is if
That's what our next open investigation.
okay.
Yeah, we had the one in March, unfortunately, had to get canceled. So the one in June is our next open investigation. We do like 4 fort sponsored open investigations a year, and then the rest is we have paranormal groups rent out, and scouts and paranormal, and then we do our other events throughout the year.
So when you
So
say it's an open investigation, does that mean
it's open to the public. It's a 7 to midnight event, and we sell 50 tickets. People think, oh, that's a lot, but that fort,
mm,
it spreads out.
yeah.
I mean, you have 50 people there. You don't think it, after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, when people settle in, it's spread out. You have people in the casemates, you have people over at the Powder Magazine and the West Sally Gordon, Casemate 11, or in the Armory, or down at the artillery shed, or I mean, so people just spread out. So that's an open investigation. That's open. We open it up for the public. You can be first time. We get a lot of first time people, newbies. We always
Mm.
have help with the different paranormal groups. Uh, we'll get you in there, Joe's. Sometime we get the SOS to come down and help. But
Oh, I'd love to.
yeah. So we rotate different groups to help us out, and we have used them as the for the newbie people that never investigated before. We have the paranormal group that's helping out do the investigations for the new people, and then we have our regulars that are make sure they're at every paranormal event. Or like I say, we had people that today that showed up after the battleship went by. They had their equipment and they went right down to the casemates. So we have them. So it's a great. You don't have to ever investigate it. Just come and you can hang out. And we have some great and it's always nice and active. So
Always active. Every time we went, we never had a problem.
yep,
I used to help Jaffa Kaufman. Do you remember Jaffa?
I remember Jaffa.
And when she had different events at different locations, I would help her because there was so many people that would come, and we'd split them up into groups. And
Yeah, she did an event at the fort.
yeah, I went to Eastern State with her and Ohio State, Moundsville,
Yep.
and 90% of the people that come have never investigated before, so she needed people to help. So
Right.
I would just go along and help her.
Yep. I mean, if you're gonna come, at least bring a flashlight.
Mm.
That always helps.
It always helps. I mean,
Don't want
you
to
know,
step in poop, you know.
well, just need a flashlight. I mean,
Go
you
a
know,
long way.
when Steve and Dave Tango, they came to one time and they didn't have any flashlights.
Are you kidding?
It's like, you guys have any flashlights? We didn't bring any.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. Here's our special $10
You just threw
flashlight.
those two under the bus. Way to go.
No,
I'll bring a flashlight.
bring a flashlight. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. I
Yes,
I'll
hope they're
bring
not
two
watching.
just to have a spare. I'll bring an extra one.
I always bring two because one usually will go.
Yep.
You
And
know?
make sure you bring this.
Yep. You need your
Can't
potassium
do
there. Yes, Wes. There will be tickets available. We got see, but we'll be posting everything soon.
Yes,
So
spare underwear and bring your Depends.
yes, bring the Depends because it's tough to change.
Because we've had people screaming.
A lot of screams. Yep.
Not
I mean,
just the spirits, like the people.
the people. Yep. And it's funny because they spirits like to do like an initiation. Anybody that's new, they they try you out. I and some people just don't last. Last year we had a new grounds guy,
Oh God.
and he's working on the ground all by himself. He lasted, I don't think he even made 3 weeks. One day he just said, "I've had enough. I'm out of here," and he disappeared and won't return phone calls, texts, or anything. He just took off.
Oh my God.
So I mean, when the first times I was there by myself at night, they're banging on doors. I'm closing doors. They're banging on doors behind me, and uh, they test you. And once they know you're gonna stay, then they're good. They know all of our names. They call us by our names. So
Hi, Brooke.
or some other
Oh,
names.
she's laughing. Did you see what Brooke had?
Yeah, the little bananas there. Yeah, we were talking about you earlier,
We
Brooks.
were
With that
talking about you,
banana.
Brooke. About you doing this. Real
Mm,
serious, but I can't do it serious.
yep.
Greggy said he didn't get his banana, Brooke.
Yeah, get me the banana at the bash.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, spirits get mad. Yeah, they've gotten mad. I had, with me and the judge relationship, I don't know. It's like a love-hate relationship. He's the one that F you, Greg F you, and
Mm-hmm. He
he
was
got,
cursing with the kids there.
yeah. One time he actually got right into my face, and basically he was giving it to me, and I just had somebody had to help me get out of the casemates and grab myself outside.
Yes, I had to tell him to stop cursing or we're leaving, and he wouldn't stop. So we left the area.
Yep. Oh, yep. And I had a stone thrown in casemate 11. It was pretty funny. It was a mother and father and their two kids, and it was the birthday the husband. It was the birthday present for the wife. So they rented fort out. There was just the four of them, and I was there with them because they never investigated before. And the two boys are skeptics. And that night, the fort was nuts. It was off the charts. And we were in casemate 11, and that was the ultimate
Mm.
military confinement. And it's pitch black in there, and we're in there. There's two different cell rooms, and I
I
was
do use them as bait, Wes.
Yep. I was in the one with the wife and the one boy, and then the husband and the other boy were in the other room, and all of a sudden you hear this, whack, something hit the wall, and they're like,
Oh,
what was that? And I got my flashlight. I go, there was a piece of brick right next to me, and and I'm like, wow, that's so awesome. And they're like, what do you mean it's awesome? Somebody just threw a brick at you. I said, well, they just want to get my attention. If they wanted to hit me, they would have hit me. So, um, I
James
was a
wants to see the judge, so
yeah. Well, the judge, we'll talk him up for you, James. I'll make
a lot
sure.
of times he doesn't show himself, he just talks.
Yeah, yeah. I
Or
mean,
he makes noises and stuff.
he's vocal, or it all depends on their moods. You know how they are.
And if
I
there's
mean,
kids there, they like to curse.
yeah. So, yep. We'll get them. I'll talk them up and let them know you're coming. So we'll get them ready.
Yeah, Wes says I need to use the kids as bait.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I do that when I go to Penhurst. I always tell them when I'm going into the Mayflower, you kids are my bait, so let's go. And they're
like
like,
I said,
what? No.
well, that's what I've said already about when we have the scouts there. They love that energy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's that all those kids running around,
Yep.
and so they love that energy. They love them there. So, and then if we have scouts just that are there just during the day, and if we have a group come that night, it's off the charts because they've sucked all that energy from the kids, and they are wired for the night.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
So what else do you
besides,
have coming up
we got
for the public?
we have a lot. Let's see. We have our Colonial Tavern coming up April 6th. Um, so we have that down in the Casemates and the old mess hall. We'll have a um, food and drink, colonial wear, and so
Mm.
that's always a big thing. We have Pirate Day. A lot of people don't realize Delaware River had pirates.
Oh,
Blackbeard came
Hmm.
up the river right down to Marcus Hook as the plank house. It was old mistress's house. He sailed up and down the Delaware. Captain Kidd sailed up and down the Delaware. Actually, was in Philadelphia. So we have Pirate Day. Of course, we have an Airplane Day where um, people come out, and we have an actual a gentleman that's in contact with the control tower, so he knows all the different planes that are coming in. So people can we have pictures, charts of all the different aircraft they can identify. Um, Unfortunately, as I said, with the weather forecast, our Civil War event this Saturday is going to be rescheduled probably into August. Our next open investigation in June. And yeah, November we always have our siege weekend reenactment of the siege. There's a World War II coming up. So FortMifflin.us, www.fortmifflin.us is our website. Go there, go to the events, and you can see all that is coming up. There's a program site that's where the paranormal information if you want to book. We have a great educational program. Any school teachers that want to bring classes out, we have a great education. We have some people on the staff that are they are educators, and so they take care of the education classes for the students. Great scout. We have paranormal and the scouts are our bread and butter, and so scouts if it are there a lot. So if any scouts come down, we get a lot of work is done by Eagle Scout projects.
right.
Um, so if you need an Eagle Scout project, contact the fort. We have lots that you can do.
There you
So
go.
and like I
Maggie
say,
wants to know, are you doing Sleeping with the Ghosts this year?
yes, Sleeping the Ghost is always in October, the weekend before Halloween. That is a fort event where we open it up and we sell a limited number. I think we only sell like 40 tickets, and that's to spend the night. And yeah, the my record is I had 6 people left out of 40 by by the morning.
Wait, so six people out of 40 by the
Yeah,
morning.
We're left.
we're left.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
scared the crap out of them, right?
yeah.
Now,
Now,
What are the hours for that, though?
yeah. No, we had two in the barracks. There's a lot of people get shaken awake. You hear footsteps and stuff. We had two people. They got shaken awake, and somebody was shaking. They look, and there's no one around. Everybody else is asleep, and that's it. They're done.
See ya.
Out of here. So,
Wes says to donate money to help restore the
yep.
fort.
Yep, we have a site. If you go to the website again, there's information. We had that bad winter and had the officer's roof blown off, and so we're looking for funding for that. So get in there and donate if you can, or if you want to become a member, join a membership, and you can come out all the time and hang out. We're a nonprofit. Unfortunately, the fort was deeded to the city in 1962. The city only pays for utilities. We do not get a dime from them,
That sucks.
even though we are officially under the Philadelphia Department of Parks. And when Mayor Ed Rendell was there, he took care of the fort. Everything was good, and then since he's gone, we don't get anything. We've had people go to council after this, those last storms, and but
it's a historical location. You think they would?
You would think they would, but we're not in the historical district, so they really don't care about us, unfortunately.
That's terrible.
More people care about us outside the city. Like as I said earlier, we have yesterday we had a film crew from Ken Burns production. He's working on his new documentary series, American Revolution, which is going to celebrate our 250th birthday coming up.
Cool.
And so we had a film crew that spent yesterday. They were there from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Doing some B-roll filming, and they say the fort will be at least 10 to 12 minutes of airtime when it comes for the history and the bombardment. It was the largest naval bombardment of the Revolutionary War. 1,000 to 1,100 cannonballs an hour at the height of the battle.
Wow.
Was shot at the fort. So it was an important part of the Revolutionary War. So,
yeah.
So I mean, we got people coming from all over the world for the paranormal, and we got all the paranormal shows to film there. But the city doesn't give us a dime.
So they don't pull an Eastern State and close the place.
Well, yeah, that we're good with that. We won't. That will never happen.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I'm just upset with Eastern State for doing what they did. So
well, they went a different direction. So
no kidding.
So unfortunately, they got a new board in there. That's what happens. The Mutter Museum. The Mutter Museum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got a new board in there, and they are getting rid of. They're changing everything. So unfortunately, you get new board members come in, and
you think the paranormal helped pay for that Eastern State?
Right.
It did. Oh, it did. That did, and Terror Behind the Walls. Now they still have their Halloween, but they don't call it Terror Behind the Walls, because
I'm glad I got in there as many times as I did.
Me too. Me too. I spent quite a few nights in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
So
I never had the chance to go in there.
Yeah, it was good. That the most shadow people I ever saw was Eastern State. It was like
my first shadow person picture was at Eastern State.
Yeah, they're popping their heads out of these cells, and I mean,
up in the cell block 12. Yeah.
Yep. So.
And my second one was at Trans Allegheny.
I seen one over at West Virginia Penitentiary, over at Moundsville. We were up in the cell blocks, and we were just looking down, like where like the guards would be, like in the center. How they can see all the cell blocks from being in the middle.
Right.
And you've seen a shadow person or shadow figure just kind of peek its head in and out of the area multiple times, like walk around and stuff. and there was nobody down in the area. We actually have it on video, so it was really cool to see.
I mean, I seen them, but I don't have pictures of them. You know what I mean? I have a picture from Eastern State and Trans-Allegheny, but I don't. It's a bummer because they'll come real quick, and you can't even get the camera up fast enough sometimes to get a picture.
Right.
Yeah.
James, we don't know when Ken Burns is. It's in production now, so we won't. When we know, we'll put it out there so everybody can watch it.
Wes wants to know how much the yearly membership is.
Go to the website. I have to see the rates got a little change, so you just go to the website and check on the membership. There's different levels of membership that you can get. You know, there's family, individual, all kinds of different costs.
Unfortunately, James, Eastern State, they don't let you investigate there. You can go in and they do the tours and all that stuff, but you can't investigate.
Not anymore. We've
been trying to get them to change their minds, but
no,
they want nothing to do with it.
They want nothing to do with
it. The daytime tour.
Yeah, just do the daytime tour. So,
I mean, maybe sneak a audio recorder in your pocket or so. You know, wink, wink. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
I agree. We all agree, James.
It is. It was an incredible spot for investigating. It was, you know, a lot of history there. A lot of people don't know that.
Jaffa. I went in there with Jaffa, and the hallway that they call the Dude Run hallway.
Right.
I had I'd say 95% of the people never investigated before, and I had my spirit box going and stuff, and I'm saying, okay, what happened in this hallway? And I have video of this, Craig. It is so funny. It says, dude. And I said, okay. And the people were like, what is dude? What? You know? And it says, run.
Good old Brian.
It was so great. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, what's so funny? I said, you never saw Ghost Hunters?
Yep. Yeah. I was there with Amy the one time, and we had a laser grid set up to cover that middle, and just saw stuff going constantly through that.
That place is so freaking active. They had groups in there every weekend.
Yep. Yeah. You know, they just wanted to.
We should protest. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Open up Eastern State.
People have tried. You know, it's just
like I
say, they've completely changed their philosophy. I'll just say that.
Oh, Gettysburg is one of the best places to investigate too.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Gettysburg is great. You know, I mean, with the fort, with the battle, you know, same with Gettysburg. You know, I mean, it's just that you got guys that died that don't know they're dead. They're still there to fight. Mm-hmm. They're still, you know, they have no clue. I mean, it's like guys were just their heads taken off. Just
it's so sad, isn't it?
Yeah. So they don't.
I miss you too, Wes. I can't wait to see you again.
Yep, I see Wes in May. So May, yeah. May, I think May 9th. I think it's May 9th with Wes. Yeah, I'll be bringing over some couple from big time paranormal investigators and event promoters from UK.
Oh, I know. You told me.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yep. So they're coming over to check some spots out.
I hope you're going to the bash, Wes. You better be.
Yep. Wes doesn't miss the bash. He
went with us to Waverly Hills. We had a really good time.
He won't be at Penhurst this year.
Aw.
No. But yep.
Wouldn't miss it. No. I'm already booked. I told you my room was booked the day they said it could be booked.
Oh yeah, I think they're probably sold out by now because they only had a few left.
They're very close to selling out. Yes.
And if it goes down to New Jersey Para Unity, you better book now because that's almost sold out.
Yeah.
The rooms.
Yeah.
And
That's a good event too.
Yep.
Lots of good events.
Lots of good. You got, the Bash, you have Penhurst, you have New Jersey, and White Hill Mansion, May
Yeah.
11th
Yeah.
has their Paracon. So
What are you
Katrina,
saying, James? You don't know about the bash?
Gettysburg Bash. That's a big paranormal para-unity event out there. So look it up on Facebook, Gettysburg
Yep.
Bash,
In Gettysburg.
right there in Gettysburg. So
And
there's a
it's at
lot.
the last weekend in Gettysburg, and it's Christmas in July.
Christmas in July, yeah.
They're doing that theme again this year.
Yep.
Yeah, same, and then they're
But they're
changing
doing
next
some
year.
other cool stuff that they're going to be.
It's gonna be some
slipping in.
wrestling going on and all kinds of good stuff.
They were going to do the Gong Show. I thought they were doing the Gong Show
Maybe next year.
because I asked Steve, please let me be a gonger. I want a gong.
Yep. So yep, you got that. Yeah, the White Hill Paracon is May 11th. Be Katrina
Wow.
and Heather there, and
all these people,
bunch of others, and then you got Penhurst, White Hill, New Jersey, Gettysburg, and all kinds of places.
Yep. And Greggy Poo will be at everything, right?
I hope so.
Unless he falls asleep in that nice chair that he's sitting in.
But
Yep.
you might.
If I had a chair like that, I'd be in it all the time.
Later on. I got my fire going, and so it was a cold day at the fort. I was like, bad. All the metal gets cold on you.
Yep.
So, yep.
Well, I think our hour is up, Greggy.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
It goes by so fast.
I know it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yep, Brian Cano will be there too. Yep, Maggie. So yeah, there's Aaron Searle, Brian, Katrina, Heather, bunch of different people at White Hill.
Oh, he has a vibrator in that.
Massage.
Yeah, sure. That we'll believe that.
Massage.
Next week we have Scott Porter and Stephanie Burke on.
Oh, Scott and Stephanie.
Yeah, they're joining us next week. That should be fun. They're always at the bash too.
Yep. Oh, I got the massage going.
Oh, Brian Cano's going to be at White Hill?
Brian Cano and Heather and Katrina. Heather, Taddy, and Katrina Wadman. And Brian.
Yes, he is the man. James is the man.
Yep. Thanks, James. James is White Hill. I was at White Hill last weekend for their colonial event, and
were you a speaker?
I wasn't a speaker for that. I'll be a speaker for the White Hill Paracon.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about good old Fort and the ghosts.
And the judge.
And the judge, yeah.
Always got to talk about the judge.
The judge.
Who curses when the kids come in.
He's a foul-mouthed man. And if it actually is Judge Jacob Wilhelm, I can understand. He was a actual sitting judge, and a lot of people don't realize, if you opposed the Civil War, opposed Lincoln, they locked you up.
Good night, Carmen. Thanks for watching.
So he was a judge that got accused of attending an anti-Lincoln, in charge of an anti-Lincoln rally, and so he got locked up and ended up in Fort Mifflin.
Whose puppy's barking?
That's mine. She has to
probably go pee-pee.
Yeah, she needs to get out. So
yes, we miss you too, Wes.
Yeah, Wes.
Gotta come down from Canada, eh?
May 9th he'll be down. May 9th.
I'll try to get there, Wes. I have to check my calendar.
They're gonna swing over to White Hill on the 11th.
Cool.
So if you want to see him,
be a busy boy.
Yeah, so he's going to stop at the fort on the 9th. I think they're doing
Night,
Fort
Maggie.
Delaware on the 10th, and gonna have White Hill on the 11th. So I think that's Wes's itinerary so far. I think they're doing the Stanley too one night or something. So they're doing a lot. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank Brandon big time.
Oh, thank you
for coming on and being my guest co-host.
And it got dark there, Brandon.
I know you're darking out.
Am I really? Oh,
yeah. There we go.
Oh, it's Brandon. Oh, I forgot what you look like. Oh, you're going to the Shanley. Ooh, the Shanley's a great location. Just when you go there, tell Sal I said hi. Yeah, I love Sal. I miss him. He was a great guy. But anyway, we're going to go night-night.
Good talking to everybody.
Yes, Greg, thank you so much for being my guest.
FortMifflin.us. Go there, the website, get all the information of events and booking information and everything you need to know. We are going to be back.
We're going to be there for an overnight, I promise, because I've been wanting to. I've been talking to my team about it, and I'm going to pull Brandon's team in there, and we're going to have a good time.
That's good. Good to know. And
bring an air mattress, Brandon.
Bring an air mattress, and
no, I'm serious.
I know.
Yeah, you don't want to. Those wooden bunks are no good. And air mattress, and
Yeah, bring an air mattress.
A mattress and a sleeping
I'll let you know.
And a sleeping bag.
Yeah. And a sleeping bag, yeah.
And earplugs in case
anybody. And then I have to ask Greg what sub he wants, because we always eat our supper there. So I always get Greg a sub.
Turkey.
Okay.
Turkey sub, that's right.
Turkey sub from Wawa?
Oh, we go to Subway.
They go to Subway.
Yes, and I get him that real big one. And it's gone in no time.
Hey.
He doesn't talk much. Because he's eating his sub.
Well, they're just eating, so it's like,
He knows he's getting a freebie, right?
Yeah, get a freebie. Yeah, got to get the freebies.
That's our thank you to Greggy. But we're going to go night-night. I'll let you know, Maggie. If you want to go, I'm writing your name down so I remember, because I forget my own name half the time.
Yep, Maggie's she's a great supporter of the fort. She was there today, so she got some great pictures and video of the battleship going by. Yeah, we were shooting cannons. They were shooting back at us. It was nice.
So, Wes, if we do an overnight, you're going to come down from Canada, eh?
Yeah, we'll get Wes down. He still hasn't had a Philly cheesesteak. What the heck? Jeez,
what's the matter with you? You're going to be in Philly. You get a cheesesteak.
Wes, I'll bring you one on the 9th, okay?
There you go. We're going to go night-night. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening and joining us in the chat room. Oh, I'm getting the hiccups. And we will see you all next week. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.